Hello and welcome to this Bulldog football postgame report. I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, Rob Bentley, along with Sandy Gholston. Final score here on homecoming: Ferris State wins it 69-3 over the Waldorf Warriors. Sandy, the Bulldogs came out, did what they had to do here against Waldorf. A battle of unbeaten teams, but Ferris State clearly the decisive winner here this afternoon.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs came in as the prohibitive favorite, so there was really not a lot of question about that. I think one of the things you were going to look at is how well do the Bulldogs execute in all three phases: offensively, defensively, special teams. Can you remain injury-free? Can you utilize your depth? Can you dominate both lines of scrimmage? The answer to all of those, yes. The Bulldogs dominated in all phases of the game. They seem to remain relatively injury-free. We'll knock on wood, but everything seemed to click for the Bulldogs, particularly in that second quarter where they really just turned on the afterburners and ran away with the game.
Big crowd here for homecoming 2022, and always nice to win in front of the home fans at homecoming. A lot of alumni, supporters, former students here on campus today.
Yeah, and when you think of the misty rain that we had pretty much throughout the day, starting in the morning and then in the early afternoon with the homecoming parade downtown, well attended, good turnout for that, and then into the tailgate area. Misty rain, but a lot of people there in the tailgate enjoying themselves, having a good time, and then they really came into Todd Taggart Field, over 5,000 in the stadium here today for this game, and they really did a great job giving the Bulldogs some good energy. And as the Bulldogs really took off in that second quarter, I think the fans really had a lot to cheer about. So the alumni are happy, whether you played football or you didn't, but the alumni that played football, they were especially happy.
Offensively, the Bulldogs came out. Evan Cummins got the start at quarterback, played well, 13-19 in the air, threw for over 200 yards. Carson Golker came on kind of various stages of the game and ran for 5 touchdowns. Can't be more said about the quarterback play here today. We saw Jesse Rivera as well here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I thought Evan really got off to a good start, and he threw the great deep ball to Tyrese Hunt-Thompson early in the game for a touchdown. He threw some tremendous touch passes throughout the game, and he really just had probably as good a passing performance as we've seen from Evan Cummins during his career. And then when Carson Golker came in, he ran the ball really well, ran the ball strong. The offensive line did a good job, and Golker finding the end zone 5 times really says a lot about him. And so he was able to run inside between the tackles, a couple times got outside, able to find the seams, not take too many big hits, and just a great job running the football by Carson Golker. So great job by the Bulldog quarterbacks. Jesse Rivera came in the second half, and he not only showed he could pass the football, but he also ran the football well too. So a great job there by the Bulldog quarterbacks today.
Bulldogs played a lot of guys here today. The offense took advantage of a lot of short fields set up by the play of the defense, held Waldorf to less than 100 total yards and forced 5 turnovers here in the game.
Yeah, the defense was just outstanding. You mentioned it, holding them to under 100 yards of total offense and really just dominating the defensive line. The secondary was just absolutely suffocating on their receivers and just did not give them a lot of room to operate. So you combine suffocating coverage in the secondary with great pass rush at the front, and it's just nowhere to really go with the football. So great job by the Bulldog defense. Waldorf did capitalize a little bit with the field goal on the one Bulldog miscue in special teams, but other than that, they really just could not get anything going against that defense.
Ferris State, of course, winning its 41st consecutive regular season game, going back to 2017, 3-0 now this season as they look ahead to Findlay, Ohio, final non-conference game on the road next week.
Yeah, you go back on the road, and going on the road, it just has its challenges inherently because you're going into another team's backyard. You're playing them. They have the home field advantage. You're coming off the bus traveling. But the Bulldogs really have a team that's built to be successful on the road. And so how do you get to be successful on the road? You run the football. You stop the run. If you can do those two things, and that starts up front defensively with the defensive line, offensively with the offensive line, defensively backed by your linebackers, and then you got the coverage in the secondary defensively, and then offensively the Bulldogs run first, but they showed today glimpses of what a passing game could look like for that Bulldog offense.
We'll have all the coverage for you next Saturday, starting with pregame coverage at 11 a.m., kickoff at noon from Findlay, Ohio. Final score again, Ferris State wins it over Waldorf, 69-3. For all the latest coverage, follow ferrisstatebulldogs.com.